We were at a trade show and I'm looking for the next thing. They would carry a toolbox in with them to the meeting and set it on the ground. And they're heavy. They're very heavy.
I want people to understand the innovation that you'll have going here, the robots that are building some of these pieces.
We built the first one and we built it around what fails in the market today.
When you say market share, you're talking about national market share?
National market share, yeah.
Does it scare you ever?
Talk to someone who's young, who's early on. They are yearning for the day when they're going to get in your spot and they're going to be focused on developing. They're not going to be focused on doing.
Springdale has industrial growth. It's the biggest footprint of any of those towns. I think it's just getting started.
We want to give a special thanks to our presenting sponsor, Greenwood Gerhardt. Starting with my parents, for years, they've helped my family feel at peace by having a team we can trust build our finances for the future. One thing I love about Greenwood Gerhardt is how directly involved the team is in the holistic planning of our finances. We can regularly check in with our advisor and know that they see the full picture of our family, even between generations. I know they're adding immense value to so many lives here in Northwest Arkansas. And to learn more about Greenwood Gerhardt and their suite of services, you can visit their website at greenwoodgerhardt.com or hit the link in the show description. Now, let's dive into the episode. Chris, good morning. Thanks for jumping on here on the podcast. We just walked around your facility here. It's Chandler Capital, kind of new brand as of the last 12 months, correct?
Right, that's right.
I've been blown away about just the different business facets, different lanes that y'all have that kind of all encompass but complement each other. Before we dive into some story, could you give us like a little bit of overhead? What are all the different lanes within Chandler Capital now?
Sure, yeah. So the company started as Chandler Equipment, Inc. We were a agri and waste equipment manufacturer and distributor. And then that has evolved into multiple lanes of business, all in the automotive space. So different, vehicle types, different pieces and parts. We started off as manufacturing parts and pieces of 18-wheelers and trailers for other companies. Mm-hmm. So that's really where we grew over time, and kind of our core business started, and that's our Chandler Vac brand. So that's vacuum trucks, 18-wheeler pieces and parts.
The stuff that's going down the road, you don't really know what you see it, but you don't see it.
Exactly right. Yeah, most people see it every day. They have no clue where that product comes from. So we're dealing directly with the companies manufacturing the truck or the trailer. So they will basically send us drawings, we'll build the products, and then ship it to them to assemble, further assemble. And then over time, having the ups and downs of business, the Chandler Vac era got into oil and gas really big as well. Also, what comes with oil and gas is the valleys and the peaks. Yeah. So riding a couple of those, we got very large. We had 110 employees at one point just making oil and gas products. And that market crashed and we laid off 40 people. And Morgan and I, my wife, vowed to never do that again. We never wanted to lay off another person. So that's where Chandler Truck Accessories was born. So building toolboxes, we could sell these to the same market we were in and also touch other customer base as well. And then we got into the Backwoods market through acquisition. And then so on. All these have been small acquisitions, but they're all in the automotive space.
Yeah. So you're from Springdale.
Yes.
Grew up here, multi-generational business. Give us some background. So your grandfather was kind of piece number one here.
Yes. Yeah. Grandparents, both of them worked here. They were 50-50 owners, which is funny, to know that. And also my dad was here. So my dad was the engineer and the shop guy. My grandfather was the sales guy. My grandmother did the books. So it was kind of that team of three that started this company off.
It started in Batesville, right?
Batesville, Arkansas. They moved up here in 1981 and bought this property that we're on now, and it was an old chicken farm. And
so people know we're on Sunset right now in Springdale. You've driven by here a million times, and it's like to think it was a chicken farm not that long ago is pretty laughable.
That's right. Yeah, growing up here, this was all farmland still. Mm-hmm. So like seeing Springdale and Northwest Arkansas just kind of bust open and develop around us was really cool. It's nice to see like where we came from and what we are today, and we all appreciate it on a different level. Mm-hmm. So seeing all that change. But yeah, so my grandparents started the company. built it to where in 2007 they wanted to retire. I graduated college in 2004, so I was fresh, fresh into this business. And Morgan and my dad and I got the opportunity to buy them out. And a little bit of backtracking. I'd never wanted to work in this company. Seeing the family dynamic is really hard in a business setting. So like trying to say, hey, we're going to have dinner tonight, but remember that argument we got into earlier? Yeah. That has to be forgotten about. So those are hard waters to navigate. And so I vowed to never do it. And I changed my mind over time. I wanted to be an attorney. So I went to the University of Arkansas, met Morgan. I was going to move away to go to law school and met her, decided I better stay here because she's special. Yeah. So figured out that did an internship, figured out being an attorney wasn't for me, which was a great learning experience. I encourage everyone to, get your feet wet somewhere and make sure that's what you want to do. And then kind of learning who I was and what I wanted to do. A job opened up here in the company, so a purchasing position, which I grew up working in the shop here as a kid, pushing a broom, working on machines. And then in college, I would go to school in the morning, drive straight here, package every order, and then assemble all the orders and ship them out every day. Like that was my job. Yeah. So understanding all of these jobs helped me kind of grow in this company. But so graduate college, purchasing jobs open, I apply for it like everyone else. So my grandparents are very hard-nosed people. Like, you're going to earn it. They're like, well, you can apply. There's no guarantee you're going to get this job. And so, going through that process, they're like, well, you were the best. You were the best interviewer. So you have 90 days. So I had 90 days to prove myself and just got to work. Yeah. Just saving money, working on different projects, and, finding a way to improve the company.
And did your wife Morgan jump into the business then too, or is that was later?
She jumped in a little bit later. Yeah. So like I got in here. She has a finance degree, so she went to work for Arvest for a little while, and then once we bought the company, then she came in. Okay. And then here recently, she's really come in. So she also sells real estate on the residential side for Sotheby's with Kristen Bozeman, and so she's not doing that as much, and she's here full time now. So it's really cool.
Wow. That's awesome. And so like you're talking about the family dynamic piece. Anything else you'd say to someone who's navigating that right now? Hey, I'm thinking about going into the family business. Not sure if it's for me. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And you said, hey, try to get your feet wet. Yeah. Anything else you'd add on there?
I would say, learning about the relationship between myself and my grandparents and my dad and my grandparents, and trying to navigate that. It made it to where when my dad wanted to retire, because we bought them through old school means. Like we went and got a bank loan. We didn't have any money. We just went and, had a bank give us a huge amount of money as a loan. And we were like, I guess we got to figure this out.
Well, and talk about that so people understand. So I'm assuming you're like, the collateral is the business. It's kind of like future revenue there.
That's right.
Anything you would have done differently in structuring that deal, or, hey, this is all we could do. This is what we did.
In that situation, that was the only option we had. So they had put it on the market also. So they had alternative buyers. They're throwing some heat. Everyone's like, oh yeah, it's a family business. You just got it handed to you. I was like, oh no, I went and got a $10 million loan from day one, and I had $5,000 in my bank account. So talk about risking it all. We pushed all the chips in and just said, we know this company so well, we can operate it. It was, it had 25 good years of history behind it that we had learned from. And, growing up here too, and having my dad as our partner helped a lot, because that old knowledge of, hey, we've tried this worked, this didn't work, or that's that customer, having all that was a great springboard. Yeah. So, it wasn't like we came in blind and didn't understand the market or what we were trying to accomplish. But,
and how monumental was that for you? And I guess your dad at the time, but now you bought him out, just not being thrown the keys.
Oh, that's the only way to go. I mean, I feel like you have to earn everything in this world. Hard work, you have to lean into it, lean into the uncomfortable. We talk about that now. Like, our goal is to be uncomfortable. Like, that's where our true growth comes from, is the learning side. And if we're not trying new things that are hard, we're never going to accomplish new stuff. So really leaning into that, but trying to navigate that in that moment, like we didn't know what we were doing at the time.
Yeah.
We were kids, Morgan and I were kids. We're trying to figure all this out. I'm like look back, like, wow, we had no clue what we were doing. And we're still trying to figure it out today. I mean, 20 years later, we're trying to figure out, hey, how does this work today? It changes so much all the time. Like it's a constant change.
Yeah.
So very, very unique situation. Not traditional family business. When we bought my dad out, we did it over a long period of time where more of a retirement style for him. There's zero pressure. We're trying to build the, long-term business model where we're all here to win, and it's not overnight.
And so talk about, so after you buy your grandfather out, it really was still the machine manufacturing pieces
That's
there
right.
in the business. That's the core business. That is the business.
Right. Right.
And then how does it evolve from there? And when do you kind of get more of the ideas like, hey, let's create some other lanes? And you talk about the oil piece. But
really 2015 is when we started doing it. So trying to figure out how to diversify, staying in the automotive space, but diversifying to different product sets. We had the machinery. So machinery was the same to build product 1 to product 10. They're all the same. It's just how you use them and how creative we could be with our time. So trying to figure out the customer, the space, the need in the market, and then what problems we could solve. And that's how we developed the Toolbox brand, which is Chandler Truck Accessories. So that was 2015. That Toolbox brand led us into acquiring Backwoods. Yeah. So Backwoods is building bumpers in Fayetteville. A guy named Evan House, who is still our lead engineer for the Backwoods team now. Like he stayed on. We structured his deal in a way where he's here permanently. Like as long as he wants to be here, he's here. And he's awesome. Great guy. So cool. Great ideas. Just we can sit and talk for hours in the corner and just come up with cool ideas and things like that. So it's really fun.
Well, so I think one thing that's been extremely impressive was like when we were talking, walking around this morning, seeing everything, and then just in y'all's website, it feels like the core DNA is, hey, we have one organization, we do different things.
Right.
And I think what you say on the website is like, hey, we're fighting corporate, we're anti-corporate. And how do you, for someone who's like, hey, our core business is like, it's been growing, like how do we kind of know what we step into? Maybe what would you tell them? Like, it feels like you've done a really good job. Like, hey, we're using what we do best as an advantage, but we're not like stepping too many circles out.
That's right. Well, first, I love small business. So growing up in a small business, I love the atmosphere, the teamwork side of it. So we don't have the mentality of it's not my job here. It's one problem, one team, one solution style. So
tell each other that.
We talk about it all the time. We want everyone to be cross-trained. So like when you come to work here, you start in the warehouse. Even though you're a salesperson or you're in marketing or you're in production, you go get a taste of all these jobs. We put them through training. And that's so beneficial because they actually understand the other roles. So like a lot of people are like, oh, I just do accounting. And you're like, no, we want you to understand shipping. We want you to understand sales, production, because they know how their job affects everyone else. So like if you think of, how I explain business is one big wheel. Just because your job was great doesn't mean the rest of the company's job was great. And so you need to go help sometimes to get that piece rolling. So staying small business is very important to us. Hearing the stories, being in corporate America world up here with three monsters, I hear conversations with friends and, I've had our CFOs from Tyson, and just hearing the stories of like, I don't feel like I matter. I feel like I'm just a number. I never wanted that feeling for our people. And it's a big team event here. We're not, there's no winners and losers in the team. It's we all win together, we lose together, we learn together. And so trying to keep that core DNA of you can't be too big. Morgan and I are fully involved every day here. Like this is our hobby. This is our life. So it's very serious to us. Our reputation matters so much. We want to support the community. We want to support the families. That's what we're really, that's who benefits from having a great business. It's the community, the families. They have, if when they come to work every day, if they're not smiling and having fun, there's a problem. And we talk about that here a lot. It's just, how do we develop the next generation of leaders and what it takes to, it's not for everybody. It's a grind, but it's, the fun is in the work. It's not the outcomes. And so like trying to keep the small business, you get better feel. So taking our company as it grows and then putting them into smaller divisions, that's what we've started to do, where this is your team of 15. You guys stay small business and you fix your own problems. You don't need the other teams to help as much. They're there if you need them though. Like we can be flexible. We can say, hey, production line 2 is slower for the next 2 weeks. Can you go hop over to Backwoods and run their production area, or go hop over to here and go work in the warehouse for 2 weeks? They're all like, absolutely. We'd love to do that.
When and how did you that was the perspective shift for that? Or is that always, did you always have that? Or
I would say
when that click?
We started in 2015 with that to some level, just being a little more flexible than we've always had been. But I would tell you the new spark has been the last 2 years. Like we've really, and that's been me personally too. Like I have this new fire underneath me that like,
why?
I think just reevaluating where I was and what I wanted to be doing, and how to. For me personally, it's like the most important things to me are being a good husband, being a good dad, and being a good leader. And the rest of it doesn't matter. And I let the other things kind of get in the way. And I've stopped listening to everyone else and started listening to my wife and my kids, and really like, this is what matters, guys. And so ever like, it's like self-realization. We can call it a midlife crisis if you want to, but there's no Porsche or Lamborghini sitting there. But it's really like reevaluating where I was, and then actually taking a step back and saying like, what can we provide? Like, I mean, I feel like I can provide so much as a person just by helping other people, and leaning into that, being a better leader. So we changed our executive team style too. So really changing our name. Here's what we do differently. Trying to explain what Chandler Equipment was very complicated. So saying Chandler Capital Group was more of a, hey, we're investing in multiple businesses, different styles, all keeping them as small as possible, but having fun, enjoying it was a better picture of who we wanted to be long-term, into more of like helping companies grow and being a part of our bigger success plan.
And did you have someone kind of advise you, walk you through that? Or is this, hey, just like, let's create a vision plan and let's do the how on the way?
It was really my wife.
Oh,
she's awesome. Yeah. She is like, props to her. She's an amazing person. Really put me on the path I'm on now. And then my kids, the 3 kids, they're amazing people. Like I'm so lucky to have them as a family. Really like making me see who I could be, and also like challenging me to be better. And that's really what kind of spurred it. So like a lot of it's self-realization and going back to like, how do we become better? We also have a good network of friends and, kind of mentors and people that we talk to from time to time, and try to get feedback and just really, just grow with it.
What would you tell someone, whether your wife or your partner is in the business or out of the business, how important is it having them bought in to like what the business is?
Yes, it is so important. So for the longest time, Morgan wasn't involved, or she felt like an outsider, and changing that really helped us kind of come into a new position. And so since we've done that, the game has really changed. But something we've talked about with our employees is when you come to your job or your career and you have some unsettled business at home, or no one believes in you, or like you feel like you don't matter, you're not going to show up here. So we talk about showing up. Showing up's the most important thing. We give tours to high school kids and work with the schools and the education system on like developing the next generation. And that's something we talk about all the time, is like, show up. When you're there every day, like give it 100%. All your focus is here. But if it's being pulled elsewhere, you need to go handle those situations first. So like we talk about, if you're not happy at home, you're not happy here. And it's really hard. It's hard for people to kind of get over that hump. It's like, and we want the families to be involved too. So like if you work for one of our teams, it's a family buy-in thing. Like everybody's got to be on board. And if they're not, you could tell. You could tell that they're distracted or something. They're not giving it 100%, and it's like there's something missing. So it's very important.
Let's talk through some of the businesses. So starting with Chandler Equipment, we talked about it being a steady business kind of as we were walking through, but has there been growth there, and where has that growth been? Or just kind of talk about that business so people can understand.
Yes.
You drive by it every day, but some of the specific things that people would be familiar with.
Right. So in 2007, when Morgan and I bought in, we had 40 employees. By 2011, we had 110. And then in 2012, 2013 is when the roller coaster ride started in the oil and gas business. And then all that change started. So we dropped back down to 70 at that moment. Tried to reevaluate where we were, growth of personnel, teams, et cetera. And then to get to where we are now is 120 people. So it's a huge shift in the DNA of the company and the style and how everything's happened. But the Chandler Vac business has been the core. It's still the core today. It's a little over 50% of what we do. It's a very steady business model. And it's a lot of long-term relationships. So things that have been there for 30 years, like some of our customers, we've had relationships for a long, long time. And even when they change over, we're there to, welcome the new team member and have that relationship starting there with our sales team. So a lot of B2B market style. And then as time's gone on, we've tried to vertically integrate and be able to sell to the consumer directly. So that's like with these other brands, the CTA, the Backwoods, et cetera, FSR, those are all direct to consumer, which is what we love. We love solving a problem for someone directly, and there's no middleman. There's no lost in translation on the service or what they get.
And talk about the end user there. I mean, we need to throw up some pictures and stuff on this podcast because it's super cool. I mean, the vehicles are they're just, they're exciting. And it's like, hey, this is a different way to experience driving through, trails in Colorado or the Ozarks, wherever you are, or you have your farm truck and it's like, hey, here's this stuff. Does this really work for what I'm doing? And sounds like y'all are really in touch with the end user on, let's try this out. Let's try this out.
Yes. I'm the ultimate consumer. I'm a car junkie, so I love trucks and SUVs. That's my sweet spot. Not a sports car fan as much, but I love to build a truck and take it to the gas station, and I'll sell it potentially. So the last 2 trucks I built, I mean, the first one was the first week I had to go fill it up, and guy was like, "How much you want? I'll buy it right now." And I was like, he goes, "I've never seen anything like that before." And I was like, it's actually a show truck. I got to take it to SEMA. And I was like, can't do it. And then a couple months go by. I'm at Starwood working for the day. He shows up to Starwood and said, "Hey, I bought the truck. I want it built just like yours." And so that's a flattering moment of we got something. We did something right. Yeah. When people are hot after your product. But being the truck guy myself, I really try to think about it, how I would use the product or what would be, a vehicle. People don't think about this, but a vehicle is your extension of your personality, and it always is. So whatever you drive, it's there's a stereotype behind it, and it's always a funny conversation to get into what kind of car do you drive? And you just hear the, some people are just super proud about it, and then some people are just it just gets me from A to B.
Yeah.
And I can tell a lot about the personality too. So if you see me, I'm driving the latest and greatest truck. I will trick it out completely because that's what I want it to be.
Yeah.
But I want the next biggest thing always. I want it to be on cutting edge and the next level. So I'm always in something new.
How much of that for people who are into that world, okay, we spend 60 grand on a truck, you spend 30 grand tricking it out.
Yeah.
Will I actually get that money back or
you don't?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. trucks depreciate, our vehicles depreciate, the accessories depreciate also. It's the same math. So like looking at it, it's more of a function of use. Is it something I can use? And that's where our products come from as well. They're not just flashy and, oh, that's cool. It's like putting on a set of wheels. They really don't do anything for you. That's why we've stayed away from products like that, where like all of our, our bed products are toolboxes and racks, and they all have functional use. And even a bumper has a functional use. All of ours are winch capable. So like putting a winch, getting stuck, drive it in bad weather. It's you can always find a way out. So never being stuck somewhere, or like protection, like accidents happen every day. Well, when we build bumpers, those bumpers help protect you as a person also. It doesn't, it helps with the crumble zone in the truck or the vehicle. And so like there's different uses, but all functional use is where we kind of stick around.
So Chandler Equipment, Chandler Vac, that's been steady for a while.
Right.
And then you guys kind of have a short season in the oil and gas. Are you building parts that go on the machines that drill? Or when you say oil and gas, what do you actually mean by that?
It's all in the service industry around oil and gas. So every well has frac tanks and water trailers and all of these products around it that help it function. And so most of the equipment that we're building parts and pieces of go on those trucks or trailers or tanks.
Okay.
So when they turn the light switch on, it's on full blast. So like we would have companies that send a truck here every week to pull up, and we fill up the entire truck full of products, and it's gone. And that goes from, we're running 2 shifts to keep up, and then when the light switch turns off, it's done. Yeah. It's completely over, and you'll see all companies go out of business and all this crazy stuff because they've leveraged themselves to be growing as fast as possible, and they get themselves in trouble.
And so did y'all exit that business? Or are you still doing
We still do it. We still do it. We just got more conservative with it. So the growth pattern was not as fast anymore. So when it did jump back on, we didn't attack it very hard. It was like, no, we want the core people who actually stayed in business during those times, and everyone else, it's kind of a, you're a startup, and it's, I don't feel right about it just, right now. I'd rather supply the companies that I know are going to be here, in the next 5 years as well.
Well, cool. Let's talk about 2015. So Chandler Truck Accessories starts.
And before we get there, one more thing on that. Yeah. And I want people to understand the innovation that y'all have going here. The robots that are building some of these pieces. Did that start whenever you were doing the?
Started post-college before Morgan and I bought in. I convinced my grandparents to buy the first robot. It's a welding robot, and it's a component style. So you're loading parts and pieces, and it's welding the same product over and over. Well, it turns out a robot's 6 times more efficient than a human doing the same product over and over on speed and accuracy. So we bought the first one, proved that it worked. It took about a year to really prove it, and then we bought 2 more immediately. So we had 3 running, and then we're up to 20 today. So 20 robots welding, and now a lot of it's dual head. So like we can weld a toolbox in 3 minutes, start to finish. Really cool. But we lean into innovation. So like our next round of investment is all automation. It's automatic cutting, automatic bending, automatic welding, conveyors in between, moving products single piece flow style where it's just efficient, and everyone's kind of. Instead of there being 20 products being made in a given day, now there's 3. And everyone's getting those 3 done. So everyone's on the same team there.
And are y'all talking about AI in there too? Or is it predominantly like, hey, actual hardware, like robotics?
It's a combination. So AI is the next step. So you'll have vision systems that are tapped into our product designs. Okay. And when they see it come down the conveyor, it knows it can switch programming, or it doesn't meet the spec. So like we can call out certain specs we want it to check. So like, hey, did that weld correct without a person having to look at it? Yeah. And that camera system can actually kick it out to the side. So we can actually what we call red tag it, where that product gets looked at by a manager that hey, something's wrong, or material was messed up, or the machine, went sideways a little bit, or something happened. So that's kind of the next step as we continue to invest and change how we manufacture. And just, it's really neat. Like, you can go to these trade shows now and you see all the latest and greatest, and it's just mind blowing what they're coming up with. And it's all efficiency based. So it's, they're not replacing jobs. Like, everyone's like, oh, AI is going to take all the jobs. Not in manufacturing. They're not. It's going to get cleaner, more organized, more efficient, more consistent. Yeah. Like, that's the goal with it.
It's good. Okay. So going back to Chandler Truck Accessories. So 2015, y'all come up with the name, come up with the brand, maybe the logo.
Yes.
Had you guys been in the manufacturing space and like, hey, let's make a toolbox? Like, how did it start?
Sure.
Like, how did it start?
We were at a trade show, a tanker truck trade show, and I'm looking for the next thing. Like, how do we get this thing off the ground again? How do we get back to where we were? Because we'd lost so much. And I'm looking at every truck out there. Every 18-wheeler has a toolbox on it. And I'm talking with our team, and we're like, we have this equipment. We could build these toolboxes today if we wanted to. So we built the first one, and we built it around what fails in the market today. So seeing 18-wheelers drive up and down the road, or flatbed trucks with, like work trucks with toolboxes all over them, all the doors are hanging off, or there's bungee cords hooked to them to hold the door on. I'm just like, there it is. There is your problem. That's your problem. How do we solve the door problem? And we set out to do that. So building a product that was bigger and better than what was on the market, that's where we went. So solve all the problems. A lot of it was just cheap, flimsy metal, junky latching. The lanyards fall off and after 10 days. Yeah. So we went with chain, hard, heavy duty latch, all carbon steel thick, beefy, and that stuck. Yeah. That just stuck. We started taking market share with, hey, ours are, and we put a huge warranty on them. That was the other thing. Like, if it breaks, it's our problem. And so at first we were replacing toolboxes because we were learning about hinges and all kinds of things that we had zero information about. So trial and error, trying to figure it out. And we did. And it took 10 years to figure that out. We've taken it from, it's almost like a startup to where it is today, which we're building 100 boxes a day. We can't keep them in stock.
And when you say market share, you're talking about national market share?
National market share, yeah. So going after, we're competing with companies that are 50 times our size, publicly traded, Weather Guard, Beyer's products, DZ, et cetera, et cetera. Like, there's all these monsters in the automotive space, and
Does it scare you ever?
Never. I love it, man. I love going up against the big guys and just outmaneuvering them because we're nimble, we're agile, we can change on the fly, and they cannot. They're so big and structured, and their thought processors are usually older. So our average age here at this company is 26.
Wow.
And their average age is in the 40s or 50s.
Are they building in China, or is this
some of them build in China, most of them build in the States though. Okay. I would say it's a 90-10 split there. Oh, wow. Mostly 90% in the US. That's why, to me, it's like being a USA made product is really cool. And to go do it in a space where we can scale it, and it's something that's on my truck right now. Like, I drive this Ford out here right now, and I'm extremely proud of it. And we have this thing in the car where the kids are like, Chandler box, you see a Chandler box, or Chandler bumper, you see it, you just point it out, and it's the funnest thing. And to see them around town, that's like the pride moment. And to have our name on it, that's cool. But it's more about our team. Like, they see these things out there, and they're like, man, we got to see a really cool truck, and it had all of our stuff on it, and I took pictures by it, and it's like, because they're like, I made that. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Well, outside looking in and growing up here, it feels like y'all are kind of living the heartbeat of Springdale, really. Just like the charisma, the rah-rah blue collar side. It's just like, it gets me excited.
So y'all started manufacturing toolboxes for 18-wheelers.
Yes. 18-wheelers and flatbed work trucks. Okay. That's kind of where the bread and butter started.
And is that still a majority of the toolboxes you're selling for 18-wheelers?
That's a tiny piece of it now. Okay. So we expanded into the everyday pickup truck, single lid, gull wing, topside toolbox, and it's an amazing shift. Like going to a really consumer heavy product where the work truck stuff you're selling to other companies still. So that's what we were used to. So that's where we started. And then now moving to, B2C style where we sell on our website, and we're creating cool marketing videos, a lot of buzz behind the product, but also like trying to fix the problems that were in that market. So going back to, these are all big companies that have been doing it the same way for 20 years. And why should we change our product? It works. And that leaves a space open for guys like us where we can come in and create something better and offer better value to the consumer. And that's what we sell on. It's just the value.
Yeah. So, but that business model is so different than everything y'all had done from 78 to 2015.
That's right.
Like everything you done was B2B. You're at trade shows. You have these old relationships.
That's right.
Now you're setting up a website, trying to figure out how to market. You're building a brand. So like talk about, that's a big business transition.
It is.
So talk about, on top of you're now manufacturing, even though you have all the capabilities of different products. So to talk about that.
Yeah, a lot of learning curves there. So understanding how to build websites, how to talk to consumers. We were not good at it. Our sales team is great at troubleshooting, but usually it's with relationships that they've already created. So it's not a end user calling them, going through the cycle of, hey, this is my issue. Here's how do we fix it. So learning how to talk differently to customers, learning how to tell our story in a different way. Product availability, that's another one. So talking about B2B, I know what those companies are doing 12 weeks in advance. They give me a PO with, I need a delivery on this day. Here's how many products. Those were easy. Now it's, I take an order, I need it to ship in 24 hours. That's the expectation. So the expectations have changed completely on the style of business. And that's what we had to learn the hard way, trial and error. So we are a huge trial and error company. We don't have all the answers. We just know that we're willing to learn and we're willing to try and we're not afraid to fail. So like in talking about not being afraid to fail, that's one of the things we lean into with our team as well. Like if we're not making mistakes, we're not trying hard enough. So we better go make some mistakes, and we better learn from those as we do them. But that's the only way we get better is to keep trying new things. So a lot of this was like teaching ourselves marketing, having a vision for what the brand is, the product, how do we tell the consumer why they should buy it and what's in it for them, because that's the ultimate goal is like, are we creating value for them? And that's what makes them keep coming back or telling their friends. And then having the reputation. So like fixing their problems immediately, so important. So I think in business world, a lot of people like push off the problems to the end of the day. We handle them immediately. So if there's a customer problem, everyone has enough say so to handle that immediately. They don't need approvals from us. They just go handle the issue. And then we got their back because they know the value there.
That's good. So you start to stand this business up. It's completely different.
Yes. We're on the road for 2 years.
Okay.
Trade shows,
just getting the brand kind of built.
Telling the story. Sales team on the road, meeting with customers, hearing no 5,000 times. No, we use WeatherGuard. No, we use Beyers. You don't have enough inventory. Your pricing's too high. Whatever the excuse was, it's just a lot of no's. And then you get a couple yeses. And then you build on the yeses. And, we didn't see, I think the first 5 years, we just scratched the surface. We were just trying to make it work. And most people quit. And we just stuck behind it. Just said, no, we're going to see it through. We know the market's there. We know we have to be better. So like getting the right inventory, getting the right SKUs, getting the problems fixed that we've learned about our product versus everyone else's, and really adapting to what needed to be done. And then finally it started clicking. But it took years and years and years.
And who is that clicking with? Is that clicking with these car shops around town that now they're outfitting your brand, or is this clicking with people ordering online?
Online, man.
Okay.
It has been very heavy online on the growth side. being able to ship this product to someone's door and they can install it. So every product has an installation video that our engineering team has created of them installing the product on the truck or SUV. And that's been a huge piece of that. Like it's an easy fix. It's an easy put together. You just got to show them the way. And so putting that out there's helped.
And are you selling like the lifestyle, or someone already has that lifestyle and you're selling them the product?
I would say a little bit of both. So with the Backwoods brand, for example, it's the lifestyle. I went and lived the lifestyle, and we did one of our films, and I was a part of that. Such a cool experience. But I think it's like trying to be that person that's out there in the market and trying to tell that story is if we can put ourselves in the customer's shoes where we're the customer, we can tell a better story. We can help them understand on a different level. So like selling the lifestyle is a piece of it. Also solving problems is the other piece of it. So like having a good product design, having something that we stand behind and we're easy to do business with. So like you call us, you get a person every time. We have a person that answers the phone. That was one of the complaints with the tent company we just acquired was we turn on the phones the first day and we're answering with our Backwoods team immediately. And they're like, oh, wow, I get a person. I'm like, yes, that's us. That's why we did this. It's like we saw that brand as being a really cool product that we used and we loved it. And I just seeing like the operational like issues that they had. And I'm just like, oh, no. You got to go back to old school. You got to be small business, helping everybody on the phone, solving their problems, shipping it immediately.
What would you tell someone who's like, hey, it's not worth it? There's a lot of companies out there right now who don't even have a phone number. Like, hey, you can chat in, offer online shopping, and that's it.
I think there's a generational shift you're seeing happening in the market, and I see it in employees too. So like the 30 and younger crowd, they grew up in a different technology era than like where I did in the next generation up, where we had a little bit of all of it. We saw, had the old school style where you'd still mom and pop walk in old school business versus now there's all this technology and it's so much more efficient. Well, we've also stopped teaching in that way as well. So like our generation is like, oh, it's just easier to push a button and it works. But like what you lose is that personal touch. So like if I'm a consumer, if I have a problem, I want to talk to a person. A person can make the moves happen. Or if, and I would say for any person getting into business in today's world, get a phone number, talk to people. People want a connection. They don't want to just talk to a computer or even it's all AI based today. Like I know it's more efficient, but you're also kind of giving up on the human interaction as well. So like, teaching kids to talk on the phone, like they don't talk on the phone anymore. It's FaceTime and that's about it, or fully text, now you just speak into your phone. Yeah. And it's such a game changer. It's just so different. What I also will say about this is like, it's easier to be non-confrontational in the new way. So like when customers are upset, I want someone there to help them get their problem solved. They remember that forever. They get really pissed off when you don't write them back for 3 days, and they're even more fired up. And then they're launching this attack on you online because they're upset you didn't take care of their issue. So like leaning into those hard conversations and solving problems, there's your success plans. Yeah. And it's not for every market, but I would say most markets still need that, like to solve problems. Yeah. Got to be able to communicate. It's another thing we talk to the high school side is how many of you can talk on the phone? How many of you can sit here and have a conversation with us and, not be distracted or, really be in that conversation? It's very few anymore. So like helping the teachers say, let's work on our communication skills, not our texting skills, not all that. That's easy. Like that comes natural for them. Let's go do the hard things and learn the hard, communication piece.
So good. Tell me about the first toolbox you shipped out to a consumer. You got the order on your email.
Yeah.
Do y'all already know how to do this? Or you like, just trying to guess the price to ship something like that? Did you lose money on it? Just kind of talk about that.
We lost money for forever.
Okay.
I mean, it's not, you can't make money immediately. It doesn't work that way. We built some prototypes is how we started. And our sales team would go around door to door and try to sell these things to other upfitting companies. That's who our target was at first. So a truck upfitter who does work trucks or 18 wheelers, we were setting meetings, and they would carry a toolbox in with them to the meeting and set it on the ground. And they're heavy. They're very heavy. So the old school were steel, and they're just, sitting on their desk and they're like, oh gosh, what is this? Like, this is what we built. Like, it's heavy duty, sturdy, fixes all the problems, blah, blah, blah. So getting our first order was like ecstatic. And then there were few and far between. And it was like, we would go out and build the order, ship it to them. Maybe they wanted 10 of them for a truck they were going to build.
Yeah.
And we were just like, thought we hung the moon on that one. And then all of a sudden they don't go back to back. And we were used to high volume delivery and, building lots and lots of products and palletizing everything and shipping out. And we built a bunch of inventory for these toolboxes so we could, the thought was I need to ship it immediately so they have it.
Yeah.
And we sat on inventory for forever that we couldn't move. And so we started lowering our prices to where we could just say, hey, we need to get these gone, try them. So we changed our mentality from, hey, we got to make X amount of profit because that's where it should be. That's where our, the old school business was always very, very profitable. Like we knew margins, we understood steel. And so like, we're like, oh, it should be the same. It's not the same. You're coming into a new market. You're trying to establish yourself. You have to have introductory pricing or a better value offer to that consumer. And we learned that the hard way over time, lowered our pricing down, got the product rolling, and then started working on designing it differently, making the improvements. So hearing the feedback from the customer, like, hey, I wish it did this, or I wish it had that. And so we started evolving it over time. And I think we tinkered with that first design for 3 or 4 years, like off and on, till we got it to where, hey, that's a good product. And then we started working on the next round and the next round, till we are where we are today, where we have, I think, 90 plus products in the CTA product line that we're offering, and they're all in inventory. That's our goal. Like you order it today, whether you're a B2B or B2C, and we ship it today. Like that's what we're trying to get to.
It's crazy. Yeah. So walk us through now. I get on y'all's website. I hear about you from a friend, or maybe I see something on Instagram or whatever.
Right.
I order a toolbox. When do I get it? What's the expectation? And how does that compare to the market? Like, I know we talked about WeatherGuard.
Yeah, WeatherGuard's another good brand.
Now, I go to a dealership and I buy an F-150. Is that where a WeatherGuard's going to get installed, or they're more towards your model, which is direct to consumer?
They're more towards the upfitter side of things. Okay. So like you would go to a Starwood Customs, which is what also us, and say, hey, I'm looking for this product. And then a lot of times that product is warehoused in a distribution center with a distribution company. So WeatherGuard would sell it to the distribution company, and then they turn around and mark it up to Starwood, and Starwood turns around and marks it up to you. Yeah. So we are taking all those layers out of it and saying, you buy it directly from us, you get that money savings, we ship it directly to your door, and you can put it on yourself. If you want Starwood to put it on, Starwood will put it on. But it's going to come through us or a version of us, and that's kind of the big shift now.
And have you had success? I mean, when you started doing that, now you have a service department. Are they getting blown up with phone calls all the time? Hey, this is loose. This is wiggling on the side. Yep. And how do you
happens? We have a customer service team. That's the same. You're talking to the same people who, when you place your order, they confirm it with you online. So it's a person. It's not there's some automation there, but it's really, we're still involved on the personal side. Like, we follow up with you and make sure you got your order. Did everything arrive okay? So also that person is the point of contact if there's something broken or the product just kind of has an issue, and they're fully versed in how that product's made, what the fixes are, and then they're the ones that can authorize sending you a new one if something's bad. So that's just one person, that one team takes care of all of that.
So talk about that, because we have friends in the shipping metal stuff, and that's been a headwind. Is something gets delivered and it's damaged. It's not their fault.
Right.
So, but they're taking, you take a bath on that because, so talk about that. Has that been unexpected? Has that met your expectations? Has it been better or worse? Is that maybe the big headwind for people entering that space? Obviously there's capital requirements and stuff.
Sure. I would say initially it was a huge eye-opening experience for us because we were used to building these products that were to spec, sent to another manufacturer, and they installed it. Mm-hmm. So they kind of handled all the issues. They didn't need us to further fix their problems. They fixed them themselves. To now the consumer, where the expectation is it should be ready to go when I get it, and it's not. We went through some learning phases of, we gotta warranty all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm huge on, it's not the customer's fault. It's our burden to bear, and we should take on and take care of that consumer no matter what. So we want to make them happy. Like that's our goal, is to, be someone that they want to talk about, be a good partner for them. If they need another product that we have, we would love to deliver it to them. But we want them long-term. So we want them to be on our team. So having the mentality shift of like, it's not my problem to it is my problem, and just taking ownership of it. And that's just part of a business hurdle that you have to overcome. But you learn from those. So like when those things do break, you go fix them in engineering. Yeah. Our engineering team has an entire book of workload where it's, I got to fix this. I got to change that design. We learned this today. And our sales team talks directly with them all the time. So it's a full conversation of, hey, we had a batch go out and 3 of the 20 of this group had this issue, and they'll go back and reevaluate and say, okay, well maybe this weld style is not good enough. Maybe we should change the welding. Maybe it should be a different latch. Maybe it should be, we didn't think about freezing temperatures. That happens. So like we have covers on our locks. Well, when you put them in the north and it rains and it freezes, the locks will freeze. Well, if you put a cover on top of it, they can open the cover up and the lock's functional. So it's like little things like that. You learn, we didn't know that day one. Yeah. You just have to, you learn that as you go.
That's crazy. Yeah. So that was 2015, Chandler Truck Accessories. Obviously, It sounds like that part of your business has had a tremendous amount of growth. Out of all of the businesses, is that probably
it's number one.
Okay.
Yeah. That will be more than 50% of our revenue in the next year. It's growing that fast, which that's what our entire expansion is about, is growing toolboxes. Yeah. So it's really exciting to see. Everyone's excited. I mean, just pumped up. I mean, I smile every day about it. Like I get to go do that. Like that's fun.
It's cool because it's national too. Like
it is.
Y'all are shipping toolboxes
everywhere,
all over.
Yeah. Really neat.
It's awesome. And then Backwoods Adventures mod.
Yeah. Backwoods Adventure Mod. So that started off as Backwoods Bumpers.
Okay.
It was a Fayetteville company. We were trying to sell toolboxes to the work truck market at the time. Evan House, that owned Backwoods, was building bumpers. And we kind of crossed paths when we were trying to look for each other's product. People were asking us to build bumpers as well for those work trucks. And we were like, we know nothing about bumpers. Like I was like, we need an expert. We need to go find an expert. Yeah. And then one of our sales guys at the time was knew Evan, had done business with him in the past, and said, hey, we need to go talk to Evan. Like he knows how to build bumpers, and he has a company, and he was building them in a shop behind his house. And so he had 4 employees and building them one by one. And we met up, kind of started talking to each other about what we could do. I was like trying to hire him as a consultant to design some bumpers for us. And he's like, well, I need some toolboxes for my truck. And so we just kind of like, he took a tour here and he was like blown away. He was like, this place is awesome. And then, so he had been, I guess, toying around with maybe doing something else.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, if you ever want to come work for us, we'll buy your business and you just come work for us full time.
Yeah.
And we'll just build this thing. And he was like, I'll think about it. And then we crossed paths at SEMA in Vegas, meet up with his team, and a couple months later, we were in business.
Wow.
We bought his company, brought his team here. He's still the lead engineer for Backwoods. We took Backwoods bumpers, and its focus was kind of work truck bumpers and heavy duty bumpers, and we converted it to kind of an outdoor adventure product set over time. And it was it's a changing process. Like we started off being like, oh no, we're going to build these work truck bumpers and that's what it's going to be about. And it was really hard. And we had going back to that, it's kind of a startup again where you're trying to launch into this new market and getting told no everywhere. And so we were like, we need to build something different. So we came up with an aluminum bumper with a steel frame, which is no one on the market does it. Still don't do it today. Like it's very unique to what we do. And just kind of launching into this new world.
How do you balance, so like the bumper, for example, how do you balance persistence and innovation to where like, hey, we know this is the problem on the persistence side. We're going to push, and we're going to stick with it versus, hey, all right, what we're trying to build is actually wrong. We need to change the bumper. Like it feels like you have a pretty good, healthy relationship there.
You have to swallow your pride, and sometimes understanding that like the product that you're thought was the best thing in the market is not what the market wants. Mm-hmm. And some of it's timing. So like if you know it's the next wave, you need to sell it as the next thing. And not like I'm trying to solve your problem today. It's can we solve your problem down the road? Mm-hmm. And so having that kind of forward vision and that's what we do also well here is I'm always thinking 5 or 10 years down the road. Like, what could this be? What could we turn this thing into? And understanding that right now it may not work. Mm-hmm. And we have to continually change and evolve. And product designs are one of those things. Like, we know there's a need for it. It's just not the right time. Yeah. And understanding, like, well, what do we do today that, if we keep leaning into it, how does it change the future?
Is there anything you'd tell someone who's making their first acquisition, like that you learned during that experience?
It takes time, patience. Don't quit. You have to really like lean into learning and immersing yourself. And I think most people think like, oh, I just own a business. I don't treat it that way. I think you have to be fully invested, fully involved. You have to want for it to work. Like that's the thing. Like really, and understanding it's not easy, and that there are times where you feel it's so risky, but then I look back and say like that was nothing. Yeah. That was all in my head, and you kind of have to get out of your own way sometimes, and then focus on the work, like focus on like getting it where it needs to be.
That's good. So the Backwood Adventure Mods, talk about that brand. Obviously it's evolved, but
it has.
Is there growth there? Is there growth moving forward? Where do you feel like that growth is?
Yes, there's lots of growth there. So the other recent acquisition, FSR, has helped Backwoods become even stronger. Mm-hmm. So like for a while, our Backwoods growth was coming through Sprinter van products. So we were building bumpers for your camping vans and all these off-road vans, which was during COVID a huge thing. So like, Backwoods quadrupled in size during COVID because everyone was doing outdoor activities. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to camp and I couldn't fly there. So I'm going to drive there. People still had money to spend on the vacation. So how do I get there? Well, take a Sprinter van. Yeah. Well, I need a roof rack. I need a ladder. I need steps. I need to make it look cool and be off-roady, which is, what we tailored to. Yeah. And we crushed it for a long time, about 4 years worth, just hammered it. Then the market corrected. So we had also during that time bought Rome Built, which was one of our acquisitions. And since this last October, we sold it to one of our employees. So one of our business development guys who was running the Backwoods team and developing all that, he is now the new owner. So I'm really happy for him. And we're still building the products for them. Yeah. But it's just, we moved away from the van market because we were truck and SUV people. Mm-hmm. And it's just that we're talking two different languages. Mm-hmm. And that's why we bought Rome Built in the first place, is Backwoods trying to talk to van people and RV people and then truck people. They're not the same. Mm-hmm. It's a different message. So like, we were like, what do we do with this? And that's where the Rome Built acquisition came around. We redeveloped all of their products. And then once it got down to it, I just told Ty Pierce, as our guy, and I just said, hey, you buy this from us. You run it completely. We'll help you get launched. And he's doing that now. So it's been awesome to see that.
So has Backwoods shifted more towards truck SUV?
Back towards truck SUV.
Okay.
And right now, mainly Toyota has been our like kind of forte. That's what we're known for. However, we are expanding outside of that reach. So trying to offer products that are, Jeep and other pickup trucks, things like that. It's really stuck in the market of, I want something to camp in. I want something I can take off road, or I want something I can go on an adventure with.
Yeah.
And those vehicles are like who we cater to
Yeah.
with that brand. Where if you get into like the big trucks or pickup trucks, that's more of our CTA brand.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of keeping those lanes separated. And once again, those are two messages that are not the same.
Yeah.
And is Backwoods fairly D2C, or that's more like you take your truck somewhere and get it?
That's a lot of B2C.
Okay.
I would say it's 90-10 B2C.
Okay.
So still very heavy there.
Okay.
And even with FSR, I would say it's even more now because FSR is almost 100% B2C.
And talk about FSR for people.
Yeah,
who
so FSR is Free Spirit Recreation. So it is a rooftop tent company. They've been around 10 years or so. Great product line. Really, they're good at innovating, changing designs, working. They just were hurting operationally.
Mm-hmm.
And they were marketing partners of ours. So when we would build trucks, we would reach out to them and say, hey, we want to put one of your tents on our trucks and, have this turnkey package. And then one thing led to the next. And they were like, hey, we want to get out.
Yeah.
We want to do something else. And it was a family. So I kind of reached out to them and it's like, hey, let's look at it. Let's see what we can do. And we went round and round a couple times. Then I kind of backed off and we had other things going on and trying to build Starwood and other stuff. And then they came back to us and said, hey, we want to get real serious. And so we did. It was real quick and easy. And we're fully integrated here now. So move that team to Springdale. Our Backwoods team has a new building that they're in, and now it's FSR as well. So there's one big team there, and really excited about that product set and that customer base. And it's going to build. So FSR and Backwoods will build together as one unit.
Mm-hmm.
They piggyback off of each other as far as product offering and customer base, and just trying to build long-term success there. But that's the fun stuff. Like, if you think about like our company, it's Backwoods and FSR. That's what you do. I'm like, well, that's only a part of what we do. That's the cool, like, oh my gosh, you build awesome stuff. Yeah. And then the CTA even too, it's like, dude, those trucks are amazing and all that. I'm like, yeah, but that's just part of it, man. And that we're so diverse purposely. So that way it's always a growing market we go push towards. So now we're trying to, that's why changing the name worked to Chandler Capital Group. Also, it's like saying, hey, no, these are all automotive companies and we're all in one family and we have different topics and ideas.
And talk about the name change. When exactly did that happen?
At the end of this last year.
Okay.
So
end of 25.
End of 25.
When people's perceptions of X Capital or whatever it may be, things you are trying to do versus not trying to do. You're not trying just to juice a business with some cash.
Yeah.
And hey, let's see if it grows.
Right.
See you later. You're trying to be very involved.
Yes.
You're not trying to just juice up and then sell.
Nope. Right.
You really care about the hiring and building in the area here.
Yes. Yeah. So the goal is to build Northwest Arkansas, like build the community. Bringing those companies here and functioning into long-term growth plans. And I want the owners to stay.
Yeah.
Is if they will. Like that's my goal. That's like the Evan House with Backwoods scenario. Like I would love for every one of these deals to have an owner that's involved and they just needed help. Like there's so many people that just need help. And we've got almost 50 years of experience that we can lean on operationally, accounting software, all these things, HR that's fantastic. We have all these benefits that we can offer. So like a lot of these smaller companies are coming to us now and saying, hey, we would be a part of your bigger picture. And we've started, we have multiple conversations going right now with people.
People that approach you.
Yes. People that approach me. So it's awesome, but I love to help people. So it's kind of a natural, like, we just start talking. I'm like, what can our business help for your company, or how do we make you better? And that's just the general sales conversation.
Yeah.
And then that turns into, well, I really wish I could do this, but I don't have the financial means, or We don't have the operational team or the engineering. And that's where that's our firepower is we have these shared systems and we can throw investment at it or people, machinery, whatever it is. And then I just love to build stuff in general. So building's fun. Love the challenge. Going back to I love to compete with the big companies. That's where my heart is all the time. I'm like, no, let's take it as big as we can take it. Let's go all the way up.
Yeah.
And then try to keep it small though. Try to keep it where everybody wins. Our team wins, and I'm still involved. So and we also when we changed our name, we changed our management style. So instead of us being operators, all of our executive team, we're no longer operators. We're leaders only. We're developers. So we have my wife, Morgan, she's our chief visionary officer. We have Ryan Black, our chief revenue officer. John Reynolds is our chief operating officer. And everyone's been here a long, long time. And then we just hired a new CFO, Stuart Howard. He's from Tyson. So we're putting together this firepower team that's been there, done that a bunch of times. We're all about the same age. And we just go develop people and develop systems. And we're going through space expansion right now. We're going through a new ERP system. We're going through all of these new machinery, ideas and scheming and trying to get FSR off the ground. But we're not running those companies what we used to. I used to go out and run every part of it. And now it's no. My value is how can I teach you guys to be better? What can I give you to help your job be more efficient or just easier everyday life? And it's really changed.
Talk to someone who's young, who's early on, and they are in that grind.
Yeah.
And they are yearning for the day when they're going to get in your spot and they're going to be focused on developing.
Exactly.
They're not going to be focused on doing.
Exactly.
Talk about how valuable that season is. If it's long, if it's short, now 20 years later, whatever, you're here to the development stage. But that is, I think everybody now has this idea of I'm going to start a business, put an operator in it. I'm not, talk about that.
Yeah. So the value in operating these companies for me personally that's where I learned the most. The actual problem solving, the connecting the dots, the understanding how a business works. I don't have a business degree. My degree's in legal studies and criminal justice. How does that relate to here? I'm a problem solver though. So actually being out in the shop, dealing with customers, working on designs, finding, how to solve problems the right way where you're making people happy. Those are all such valuable tools where if you just, invest in a company and then hire an operator, nothing about it. And going back to that, you're not all in, you're not there, you're so disconnected and you don't make decisions the same way. So Wednesday, I toured two of our biggest customers' facilities. One facility was 240,000 square feet and they had 20 of these facilities next to each other. It's a Fortune 500 company, but it's very cool to see. But I don't understand those businesses unless I go see them and I see their problems and I see and we talk to their buyers and we say, hey, they're yeah, we need you to hold this inventory because we have nowhere to put it. And you're yeah, whatever. And then you go there to see it and you're yeah, you don't. That's a need. So being firsthand knowledge is how you solve problems faster and you learn more from seeing as much as possible and talking to as many people as possible. So surrounding yourself with these companies or experience, talking to other business owners. We talk about turning over every rock. We want to turn over every rock and we want to see everything we can see and learn all this information so that we can help run our company more efficiently. And it's for the betterment of everybody. But yeah, definitely you have to get in the business first and work in it before you can step out of it. And you really have to put your time in. And the minute you have it figured out, that's the minute you're humbled. So I've been through multiple times where I'm man, we're crushing this. This is an easy thing. And then I get humbled really fast. And now I'm embracing those things. It's I need to be humbled. I need to be shown that you're not good enough, that there's other people out there bigger and better than you. So it's you're chasing all the time, but we're not chasing the other companies. We're chasing a better part of us, making ourselves better. and not, oh, we want to be weather guard size. I don't care how big they are. I don't care what they do. I care about how we're making an impact for ourselves and our people. And so that's your kind of benchmark to go off of.
Mm-hmm.
So you were talking about like future. You're very like, hey, I want to plan 10 years down the road.
Yes.
What's your hope, expectation for Chandler Capital Group moving forward?
So a couple big things coming up. We have Starwood Customs. So they're moving from Lowell to Springdale to this building we're in right now. We're going to renovate this entire space, have a shop right on 412, which doesn't exist right now. Focus on building 3 types of trucks here and helping 3 types of customers. Either you're a executive truck or like what this Ford is out here now. So like your higher end contractor, business owner, they want great stuff, or even farmer. So that's one style of product. And then we also have the adventure trucks, which is the Backwoods product line, the FSR. We will sell our own products with these trucks in this facility too. And then we're going to have a commercial division. So we're going to go after commercial work. So like fleets and other companies that need a local presence, and there's not one. There's not a great one. So like being here right in the heart of Northwest Arkansas, it makes total sense to do all those things. So we'll do that out of this building and have twice the space that Starwood has now. And we have moving their team over here. They're all pumped about it. They're, oh my gosh, new space and, cool ideas, and get to go to a pretty building every day. So it's not really pretty right now. It's going to be amazing. So
talk about the Starwood business, because we haven't really talked about it yet. That acquisition was in the past couple of years?
It was last year. Yeah, last April. Okay. So we acquired Starwood. Starwood was a customer of ours for years. The owner and I were friends through school, and he just approached me one day and said he's ready to get out and wanted to know if I'd be interested in getting in. And I was like, right place, right time. We had people asking us to do installs all the time, and we just didn't have a good outlet for it.
Yeah.
So I was like, now we have a spot. So we jumped into that. It was a really quick acquisition, kept all of their team, have since added a couple more to them to help them grow, and really just give them a more solid infrastructure, a plan, growth model. And then it's also vertical integration for us. So a lot of our acquisitions are vertical integration or related businesses. We're always in the automotive industry and try to stay there. But yeah, moving Starwood here and that acquisition it's a fun one. There's so much potential there. The dream for me is for us to build a Backwoods truck or a Chandler truck, and it's got its own badge and it's built our way. So like our spec has all of our products on it, and you can eventually maybe get it from a dealership. We'll see where that goes. So that's one thing. And then other things we're working on are similar in the automotive space. I won't tell you what they are yet, but we could be doing really big things coming up.
Circle back in a couple of years.
Yeah. I would say that if we can get this one done to the finish line, it's the biggest thing we've ever done.
That's amazing.
Biggest company. We could turn this thing into the biggest spot, and it's a big footprint, and it's like dreaming bigger. So it's like, I love to dream big, and this one's dreaming really big. And if we can, it's going to take a long time, and I'm really excited about it. And all these things are related. So it's like, that's what sticks in our wheelhouse of like, what's next. And, we want to continue to grow these businesses. We're not here to build them and sell them. We're here to build them and, give people more opportunity, and they can move into different teams, or, give the families opportunity to grow in the community as well. And so that's kind of what Chandler Capital Group's about now. It's just building for the next generation, and just having fun doing it. There's no outcome. There's no like, here's my number. Here's where we're going to be. And then we're happy. There's none of that. We're happy to be here every day. Like, we're happy to walk in, smile, make connections, make relationships. We talk about 3 things right now: creating value for each other. Like, that's the number 1. Creating value for our customers. That's number 2. And then exploring, number 3. So if we're not, you can do the 1 and 2 and just be okay. But if we're not exploring, we're not trying new things and trying to better ourselves, and that's what I think most companies miss is like, they feel like they're going to get it figured out. And then going back to like what humbled me is it changes immediately. It's so swift in like the market shifts, the customer shift, everything shifts. And you're like, you get to like, oh, I got it to my magic number. And then you've lost it because you're not trying to continue to go after it. Like you have to keep grinding and keep going.
That's cool. Talk about the truck idea being at a dealership. Did you see that somewhere? Is that just like kind of a dream?
Oh yeah, it's been out there. So like if you see like a Black Widow truck, or we talked about Hennessy, and there's Roush, and there's a bunch of these companies that do kind of the aftermarket upfit side of things. I've just always wanted to be in that space. I just think it's cool to have like a so-and-so name truck, because everybody, I mean, there's only 4 big automakers in the world, and everyone's kind of got the same stuff. And that's where I'm like, how do we make ours different? How do we be unique? And like they're purpose built, and it's like really different. Yeah. And so that's the fun part about it. Like, and then seeing like what we've built that goes out to shows and people want to buy them. And I'm just like, okay, we should be doing this. We should be doing this. Like,
could you do it quicker?
I think in time, yes. I think initially you've got that startup phase where you're learning about things you don't know very well. And I think once you get involved with that and build it, it's just like any other business that we have. Like we're going to trial and error it till we get it right. And then once we do, you'll just roll with it.
It's cool.
Well, kind of getting towards where we're wrapping up here now. Yeah. Why Northwest Arkansas? You're even these acquisitions you're bringing. You've done so far. You've been bringing Northwest Arkansas. Why Springdale? Why build a business here?
Community, man. This community is the best I've ever been in. Growing up here, you take it for granted. You go visit somewhere, and I always want to come back home. When I get home, I'm like, this is my place. Like I feel like it's such a strong pull here. We have the best of everything. You have outdoor life. You have all 4 seasons. You've got some industrial community. You've got good retail. You've got Fortune 500. You've got this good mix of like the right growth. And seeing how far Northwest Arkansas has come is just super cool. Like, seeing the old school days of these were all farms and there was no buildings here to where it is today. And even, it's rapidly growing now.
Yeah, in that, what would you say someone who's like, because you've seen the past and now you're seeing kind of the current stage about like the environment to build a business here from like, the entrepreneurial side?
Yes, I think it's easier today than it's ever been. I think there's more opportunities here. There are, as the area continues to grow, you have population shift. You have, we don't just have one type of job. So like when you go to, like I was in Kansas City. Kansas City is a very industrial town. So like when you look at it through and through, it's if you're not in the industrial market, what are you really doing there? Where in Northwest Arkansas, we're getting this kind of good mix. So we have a little bit of everything. And so like if you're trying to build a business here, you need a good mix of the economy. It can't just be all stuck in one system or one area. So like we have a good, diverse system. You've got multiple towns that are growing as one, which is awesome to see. And that's very unique too, because there's different leadership styles in each town and there's different development styles too. So like, and that's really cool to see where like going back to the Kansas City or, the bigger towns one way, you only see it one way. And so we've got this really cool mixture of what's happening here. And then Springdale to me, Springdale's like the unsung hero of Northwest Arkansas. I'll say that to everybody. Fayetteville has the university. Bentonville has Walmart. Rogers has the Pinnacle Hills area. Well, what's Springdale have? Springdale has industrial growth. We have old school farming. It's the biggest footprint of any of those towns, if you think about it, from structure size. It's got the most growth opportunity. And I think it's just getting started. I think what you're going to see coming up next is the growth west. You're going to see more companies wanting to be in Springdale. It's the heart. So I feel like this is the heartbeat. We're sitting right in the middle of that heartbeat. So like watching all this growth happen, and it's gotten a bad rap, I feel like, as a town. And I love Springdale, like through and through. Growing up here, I don't realize like the structure that we had, and like, it's a really like, I feel like it's an old school mentality where we're here to get things done. We're here to do it the right way. And growth takes a long time. And everyone's jumping to the new flashy thing, and Springdale's just churning along. They're just keep rocking and rolling. And I'm a huge fan of that. That's my style too.
Yeah.
Let's just keep rocking. Let's just keep moving forward. And that's where like Springdale's at. And Springdale is so great to like work with the business owners too. So like my relationship with the town itself is fantastic. Like Morgan and I can go interact with anybody.
They know you.
They know us. They want to be involved. Like here lately, even more so. So like, we're involved with the chamber and involved with a lot of the new things with the school systems and like trying to develop the next group of leaders. So like just being involved here is just even, built it that much bigger.
That's cool.
So it's really cool.
How do you define success?
Gosh, it's not a number. It's not a destination. It's a feeling that you have that you found your value, you found your worth. That's what I think success is. So like, I'm going to tell you, I went through the last 18 years, and from the outside, you would say, oh gosh, they're successful. They're blah, blah, blah. Well, I wasn't feeling it, even though things were looking great on paper, until the last couple of years when we really figured out that like, this is what it's about. It's about developing our people, finding our value and like what we're worth as people, not as what our bank account says or our opportunities look like. And then trying to teach the next generation that is also helped us like kind of come full circle and say like, quit chasing money, don't chase fame, chase you, find yourself. And if you can find yourself, you'll be successful at whatever you do. So like, telling high school kids, like they don't know where they are. They don't know what they're doing yet. It's really difficult to like, get them to a place where they feel comfortable about who they are. And I was like, gosh, guys, I was over 40 till I figured me out. So, it's just like, you just trying to find success is different for everybody though, I think. But I would go back to like the things that we've, found really important to us is like finding our self-value, like we're what makes us feel fulfilled every day. Then that's success. Yeah. So like for us here at this company, for me coming in here every day, I love it. I love helping these people. I love growing. I love finding solutions, and that's success. There's no money tied to it. There's nothing. I mean, I don't come in here for a paycheck. I come in here to create value, and that's where it comes from.
It's cool. Well, one of the things we do at the end of every episode is we try to highlight the biggest kind of themes that we learned from you today, and then we think our listeners are going to learn from you. And I think the first one that's been pretty clear is that you're a competitor, and that's a good thing. You have to be in business. And kind of look at the industry that you're in. There's 4 big manufacturers of vehicles, and then there's probably like a handful of small or big manufacturers of products for those vehicles. Right. And so you are in a super competitive industry. And so to not be a competitor, you wouldn't be able to be successful in it.
That's right.
So I think that's really cool. Just hearing that, hey, I want to go up against the big guys. I think if you can bring that mentality into any business that you own, that you operate, that you're part of, like to be a competitor and to do it in a healthy and honorable way, I think is just really cool. Yes. So I think a lot of people are going to learn and hear that from you. I think the second thing is you're clearly a fixer. Solving problems is in your DNA. From when you started working here, walking through the facility, seeing those robots. And there are people in 2026 who are still just manually welding stuff. And you guys brought in robots to help make things more efficient 20 years ago. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. And so just hearing you talk about those, solving problems, the innovation, helping customers, like that's in the DNA of the company. And that's why you guys have been able to grow. And that starts with you as a leader. Yeah, that's right. So really, really cool being a fixer. And then I think the last one that's probably an underrated leadership value is being a helper. And hearing you talk about the team when we were walking outside, like, hey, it's cool in our meetings to see how many people have started here and now they're here. helping people who work here, helping our community, helping people, high school kids learn about the things that you've helped with. Like, it's very clear that is a gift that was given to you. And so if you're a business owner, if you are operating a business and you can figure out how to help your clients and then how to help your employees, you will have a thriving business.
That's right.
So thanks so much for your time. Loved hearing about all the different businesses and what you guys are building here, right here in Springdale, right off the 412.
Right on 412. Yeah.
And thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah. Love being on here. Love talking with you guys.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, thanks.